Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another Bottomless Brunch at Colman's. You know what? I love a great big noisy brunch. Mimosas and frequent trips to the buffet. But my favorite brunches, actually, is when I just grab that one special person and we sit down for a one-on-one. And that's what we're going to do today. Today we commemorate Juneteenth, a day that marks the ending of slavery in the United States. So I just have one good friend with me, and we're going to have a wonderful meal and a delicious cocktail, and we're just going to see where it goes. Welcome back. I am beyond thrilled to welcome to today's Bottomless Brunch an Oscar award-winning actress, a Golden Globe nominated director, and who I lovingly call my wife Sharon. Welcome to Bottomless Brunch at Colman's, Regina King. Hello, wife.
Hi, hubby. How are you?
It's good. It's so good to see you. Today's episode celebrates Juneteenth, and I want to talk about all that and what it means to you and so much more. But first, as my friend, how are you and how have you been?
I am doing okay. You know, as I always say, I'm just trying to bend with the wind, you know, because the wind
with the wind
blows so many different directions. And so I try to bend with it.
Because you always seem like no matter what, because they're one of the busiest working people that I know, but yet still, wherever you are, you seem to be centered and grounded wherever you are.
It's interesting coming from one of the busiest people that I know, because you are always writing or directing or acting or doing
You're my soul sister. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Trying to be in service to the world with our art. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
You know? I think that's why we connected like that. I think the moment we met, I believe it was on. Right?
Yeah. It was kind of I've known this soul. Our souls have been connected for life.
I feel that way too. I feel that way as well. Okay, well, you know how much I like to make sure everyone's taking care of themselves, eating good and all that stuff. So let's do some brunch. We're gonna make a little cocktail and we're gonna get into all of it because I have a lot to talk to you about. Okay, let's have some brunch, all right?
All right.
Now you know, a Juneteenth brunch is mostly red foods and drink. Why? Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Some say it could be traced back to Yoruba and Asante celebrations that involved offering up the blood of animals, or to the hibiscus flowers that have served as a base for teas in West Africa. All I know is that now barbecue is a priority, as well as red velvet cake. So let me show you what I brought to brunch, and then maybe you want to show me what you brought to brunch. I decided to just go for a red velvet cupcake, Regina. Look at that. I'm going straight to dessert. And I did some watermelon with some mint sprinkled on top. I decided to go fruity and dessert-like for my Juneteenth.
Wow. I love when I'm having a learning moment. And I did not know that that's the food that was associated with Juneteenth. I mean, I guess just being an American girl that, you know, where most of my family's from the South, it's been barbecue.
So Regina, what did you bring for brunch?
I do have berries.
Beautiful.
I have a couple hard-boiled eggs because you can't go wrong with that. And I can't, because of the way the camera's set up, I can't really present it. But bacon, I don't need turkey bacon.
Good.
I don't need turkey bacon. Yeah.
What's the point of turkey bacon?
I don't.
What's the point? Exactly.
I said that we've been together for many lifetimes. Yes, what is the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, and then an English muffin.
Oh, perfect. Good. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, we got our brunch taken care of. And now let's make a cocktail. How about that?
You know, I'm always down for a cocktail.
Say it again. What you say, Regina? You've been over to my house and what happened?
I've been over you. I said, you don't play with your cocktails because I was over your house once and you had a smoker going on and we were drinking whiskey and you were infusing the smoke into the whiskey.
Look, it's witchcraft, alchemy.
I love it.
I do all of it. All right, well, let's make a cocktail now, okay? All right, I sent you over a care package with everything you'll need. And today we're gonna make, boom, a Ciroc Summer Citrus Sunrise with the new limited edition Ciroc Summer Citrus. Isn't the bottle pretty?
Yes.
All right, let's check the ingredients. Hold them up to make sure you have them. We have the Ciroc Summer Citrus. You got that right.
I put mine in the freezer. That's why it's got
look
the
at,
little.
so see, you don't play. You're so detailed. I love it because it needs to be that ice cold. We have cranberry juice, right? We have pomegranate juice, and we have an orange wedge. Did you make an orange wedge?
Look, I have my handy look. Everything is close.
You wait. Everything is close. I love it, Regina.
Clearly, I use my kitchen.
Get it.
All right. So. All right.
Love it.
Orange
Perfect.
slice. Done.
Beautiful. There we go. Done. Perfect. Great.
Yes.
All right. It's always good to have a glass of water standing by because I want you to stay hydrated. We're going to start with just filling your highball glass with ice. For the cranberry juice, I want you to do a 3 count, which usually is about 3 ounces, okay?
So you're going cranberry first.
Yeah, cranberry first, because I'm gonna get 3 ounces of that.
Golly, Colman, you put this in here.
Is it all strong? Come on. I know you're a superhero in there. Come on, watch.
Got me over here struggling.
You're a superhero. You got this. You got the struggle's real. The struggle's real.
Try not to have cranberry juice all over the place. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Here we go.
Count to 3.
Yeah, count to 3. That'll equal about 3 ounces. Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and that takes it to about halfway. All right.
Oh.
Let's see what that looks. Looking good. All right. Now for the pomegranate, we're gonna go for 1.5 ounces of that. That's like a 1.5 count. That's 1/2. Boom.
Okay, 1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Perfect, exactly. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's finish it off with 1.5 ounces of Ciroc Summer Citrus.
Well, that came open easily for me.
So I'm gonna go 1.5.
Okay, 1.5.
Perfect, that's it. There we go. You got it. Gorgeous. Now we're gonna stir it with a metal straw. Perfect, great. You got your metal straw?
I'm gonna use a spoon.
Perfect. And now add your orange wedge.
All right.
Oh, that's gorgeous, Regina. Beautiful. All right. Cheers to you, my love.
Cheers.
Hey, would you give us a toast?
To family, to friends, and true connections never end.
True connections never end. Cheers.
Cheers.
My friends at home, you can find the recipe for the Ciroc Summer Citrus Sunrise on amc.com/brunch. Cheers, everyone, and please drink responsibly. All right?
Happy
We're about to get into some
Juneteenth.
good talk. Happy Juneteenth. Let's get into some chit chat, Regina. I'm gonna go down memory lane with you today, okay? One of the things that I've noticed about you is how much you're able to embody characters who are so much not like you. Now, be it Marcy Tidwell and Jerry Maguire, compared to playing all sorts of agents and officers in Southland or Watchmen. And the one I always think about that is so different from the woman that I know is Aisha in Poetic Justice. What drew you to that character?
She reminded me of one of my friends. Now, when I read the script, something about her just reminded me of my friend Kim. I felt like, I don't know about you, Colman, but oftentimes with characters, one, I'm building a backstory. Are her parents in her life? Is she from a single parent home? Or, what school did she go to? Now these aren't like the questions that I apply to every character's backstory, but with Aisha, it was really kind of specific to, being young.
Wild, loud.
Some of the dialogue just reminded me of just Kim. Guys used to get so pissed at her because she could bag on them. She
was tough.
Kim would always chop them down, and make him feel less than. And I just remember I used to be like, oh my God, Kim is going to get herself hurt.
Right.
She was strong. She told it like it T.I. is.
I always go back to that because I felt like you still made her very complex, and she just wanted, I don't know, she was a young girl finding her voice and being strong out there. She's strong and wrong, but she was actually right a lot of times when she would just say it. She just didn't have any tact. And I remember when I first saw that movie, I thought, oh my God, they wrote that based on my sister. Now, okay, I brought up Poetic Justice because of that family reunion scene because that made me think of Juneteenth celebrations.
Yes.
And I think I went back and looked at it and I said it was the Johnson family reunion. There was red t-shirts, red drinks and barbecue aplenty, and Tupac said, we're all family, especially when it comes to barbecue. I wanted to know, what are some special memories from working on that film? Did you know that would be a cultural landmark that it was?
No, I don't think I did know that because I think, Poetic Justice was not too long after Boys in the Hood.
Right.
They show that in like anthropology classes in other countries, like that film. So it hadn't reached that level yet because it had such a great reception, because it done so well, it actually opened the doors for many other films like it, or that had stories in that space.
It has Tupac in it, Janet Jackson, it has you, it has Maya Angelou. I mean, there's so many, I think, people who are part of the Q-Tip as well. I mean, that's extraordinary. That's an extraordinary world right there. And I think, do you have any memories, anything that jumps out at you that you think, oh, that was a beautiful moment?
My fondest memories are probably with Pac because he's not here anymore. And that was the beginning of a relationship that was going to be a friend for life. Yeah. I remember every Christmas I always go to Cincinnati. And so Pac and I, we wanted our mothers to meet. Mothers had never gotten a chance to meet each other. So I was like, we're gonna drive down to Atlanta, because he was living in Atlanta at the time. And we drove down, and Afeni and my mother got a chance to meet each other, and we spent time together. And it's, I just think about that.
What was he like? What was he like? What was he like?
He was one of those people that you appreciate because, one, they always say what's on their mind. Sometimes, people receive that as being abrasive. I always am one of those people that I see that as saving time.
Come on.
So I really, appreciated that about him.
All right, here's a question that everyone wants to know. And I'm telling you, everyone. They've sent me messages on Twitter, you name it. They all want to know, how was it working with me?
He aight.
He's aight. He shows up, he hits his marks, he's silly.
Honestly, and I'm not saying this just because you're here, but it's like Pac. I had no idea that our connection would be as strong as it is, and that I would have a lifetime friendship, family, I feel like.
And I tell people over and over, I said, it was easy working with Regina. We just vibed.
Yeah.
That's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is family for life, because we're vibing in the same place.
Yeah.
What do you see as your responsibility as a storyteller?
It's interesting. I'm gonna answer that question in two ways. First thought that came into my mind is to just be honest. If you start something from a place that's not genuine, you can't keep up with it, because you're trying to keep up with a lie, to be quite honest.
Right.
The other part to that is, and I think I kind of discovered this as of recently, you and I had a conversation on the phone, knowing that I was put on this earth. One of the reasons that God put me on this earth was to tell honest stories. Yeah. That's where I express myself as an artist. That's how I express my love for the earth. That's how I express my love for people. That's how I embrace the positive and the negative, is through storytelling.
I'm gonna wrap this up with a question to you about Juneteenth, because it's all about honoring our ancestors. Now I can't speak today. All right, I'm gonna ask you one final question.
See, I just have that effect on you.
You do, look, I'm all nervous and stuff. That's Regina on the other side. Okay, we're honoring our ancestors. Is there an ancestor that you'd like to give honor to today before we part?
But he's just been coming up a lot in conversation. But I guess Marcus Garvey.
Wow.
And I know he was a very controversial leader for some, but his desire for us as a Black people to build us as a Black people without the need of any other people. without
We
having
can build
to
ourselves up.
build ourselves
Exactly.
was quite powerful.
I've been doing a deeper dive with Toni Morrison because she's been coming up a lot lately too. Toni Morrison's writing, also James Baldwin is always on the tip of my tongue. And I feel like I like to honor those ancestors because through their literary works, they really do try to tell us a fullness of who we are in our experience in America. And I think that we go to them over and over again as touchstones to remind us who we are, what we come from, what the systems are in the world, what we're fighting against, and how we can rise above all of it.
Yeah, those are great ones. And the thing about James Baldwin and Toni Morrison is it's just a perfect example and reminder that writers are artists and how powerful art is in expanding the mind, and it just lasts for forever.
And we go shoulder to shoulder doing this work. I love you and I thank you for being my friend, for being an incredible human, and for doing the work that you do on all platforms. Thank you for joining me for brunch today, Regina.
Thank you, Colman Domingo, King of Bingo.
Thank you so much. I love you so much. And I think that's it. That's it for us today. So if you'd like to give some words to the people out there, it's something hopeful to tell people give them some hope out there.
Whatever you do it with grace.
Whatever you do it with grace. You heard it from my friend Regina, you guys. Happy Juneteenth. Bye-bye.
Happy Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, Liberation Day, and Jubilee Day. I honestly think that, like the 4th of July, we should all celebrate it, every hue, because as the saying goes, not one of us are free until we are all free. So eat, drink, and be merry today. Happy Juneteenth. Bye-bye.